Hello and welcome to the 33rd season of Sims 4 Survivor. I haven't done one of these in a long while. We took a bit of a hiatus and we're still kind of on hiatus. I'm kind of waiting for a few more packs to come out before I do like a full newbie season. But I had an idea and I wanted to do it. And I also kind of miss recording one of these, so we're doing it. This is Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2, the sequel to the 4th season of Sims 4 Survivor, which was Generations. On that season, we had teens competing against elders, and this time around, we have every single life stage in The Sims 4 represented here. Actually, not every single life stage, because we only have teens to elders. We don't have any children or infants or toddlers or whatever. But you know, this is a full returnee cast with the exception of one player. We'll get there. And without further ado, let's just introduce our cast here. First up, we have here the Teens Tribe, where we have 4 previous contestants who are all teens. And right off the bat, we have Baby Ariel coming here from the original Sims 4 Survivor Generations. It has been a long time coming. I feel like I've been trying to cast her on a season and just never really fit her anywhere. But she is back. The only teen sim to be a celebrity. She's here. Also, the only like real life person to also be a sim in the game proper. I don't know. Whatever. She's here. Next up, we have here Freya Loden, who just competed not too long ago on Sims 4 Survivor Brinton Bay. She was the runner-up, I think, or third placer. She might have been the third placer, or she might have been a co-runner-up. I'm not sure. Either way, she made it to the final 3. She lost to her ally, her closest ally, Saint Omri, but she played a strong game, and so she is back. Somebody who did not play a strong game, however, is Hugo Villarreal, who competed on Sims 4 Survivor Granite Falls. He was a pre-merge boot. I think he was like the 4th person eliminated. But honestly, I just didn't really have another option for a male teen. There are not a whole lot of them in the game. We have like Kevin, but he's won twice, so I didn't want to bring him back. We have Rohan, who also has won, so I didn't really want to bring him back. And then there's like Nyan, who quit, so I didn't really want to bring him back. And my other option was Aurelio. But Aurelio has already competed like 3 times, so I figured, let's pick Hugo, let's see what he does. Why not? Let's give him a shot. And then finally on this tribe, also coming from Sims 4 Survivor Granite Falls, as well as Sims 4 Survivor Second Chances, I think, we have Sydney Price, who placed 5th on both of those seasons, coming here for the 3rd time. He was a very stable player on both of his seasons, but he always sort of just allied himself with stronger players. So I want to see him come into his own on this season and really rise up to the occasion instead of just linking up with better players. Next up, we have the Young Adults Tribe, which also happens to be composed entirely of mermaids. I don't know, I thought it would be funny because we do have 4 mermaids in The Sims 4 Island Living, and they are all young adults. So here we are. We've got 4 mermaids. First up is kalamainu'u Iona, who competed on Sims 4 Survivor Tartosa. She placed 6th on that season. She was a surprise comp threat near the end game and ended up getting taken out because of that. So I'm expecting her to do well on this season as well. Next up, we have Nalani Mahi'ai coming in here to compete for the 3rd time, same as Sydney. She first competed on Battle of the Sexes, where she ended up betraying her former women's tribe, linked up with the men, but that was also because the women did not want to work with her. And then she came back for Occults vs. Normies, where she found herself at the bottom of her tribe and ended up getting eliminated in the pre-merge due to being one of 2 veterans on her tribe. But people have been wanting to see her come back. She did pretty well on the poll that I did for Evergreen Harbor. So I decided, why not bring her back? Also, I had to, bring back all of the mermaids. Next up, we have Paka'a, who competed on Sims 4 Survivor Stranger Will. Hasn't competed since. He was a part of the All Men's Alliance, the 3-person trio between him, Jeffrey Landgrab, and Dirk Dreamer. And he ended up getting betrayed by Dirk Dreamer, which eventually caused Paka'a's downfall. Otherwise, he was a pretty strong strategic player, and I think he would have had a good shot at winning the game if he had made it to the final 3. And then finally, we have Ukpanipo Hakakia, who is another Sims 4 Survivor Granite Falls player. He was kind of quiet, didn't really do much, but also, like kalamainu'u, ended up being a surprise comp threat near the end game, so he ended up getting taken out by the Women's Alliance on that season. Let's see if he does a little bit more on this season, and maybe makes a bit more of a splash, pun intended. Next up, we have the Adults Tribe, where we have 4 players, one of which has not competed yet. That player being Flora Ladipo, who is from the newest pack in The Sims 4, Enchanted by Nature. She is kind of a wild card entering this season. I thought it would be fun to have like one person who is not a veteran, like one newbie, throw them in there. Let's see what they do. I don't know. Why not? Then next up, we have Aziz Nadir, who competed on Sims 4 Survivor Glimmerbrook. He was on the tribe that won every single challenge in the pre-merge, and then he won the first individual immunity challenge as well, which caused him to get targeted for the second tribal council of the merge, and him getting the boot. I believe he might have been the first member of his starting tribe to get eliminated, but I don't remember that fully. Next up, we have Kenny coming here from Sims 4 Survivor Nordhaven. Kenny had a very contentious run on Nordhaven. He was, for a long time, the one to beat, the biggest strategic threat on the board. He had a rivalry with Corey Nihus, who just competed last season. He ended up getting bested by Corey's Alliance and ended up in 7th place, I believe. But he had an impressive run, so I'm bringing him back. And then, finally, for this tribe, we have yet another Sims 4 Survivor Granite Falls player, Alice Spencer Kim. I don't know why I'm bringing back so many Granite Falls players for this season, but I think we just haven't had that many people return from Granite Falls. I think it's mostly been like the big names. So, you know, whatever. Alice is here. She was a part of the Women's Alliance. Didn't really do that much. She was kind of quiet. Didn't really rock the boat either. I remember she got a pretty good result in the fan poll for Evergreen Harbor. Didn't make the cast, but she was very close. So here she is, back for a second time. And then finally, we have the Elders tribe, where we have all elders. And first up on this tribe, we have, coming here from the first Sims 4 Survivor Generations, Kitty Lou. Kitty Lou was not a very memorable player on Generations. I think she was just one of the numbers for the Elders on that season, the Elders Alliance. And then she ended up getting flipped on by a few of the Elders, I believe specifically Blossom. Otherwise, she at some point held the legacy advantage, and she hadn't been doing all that badly. I figured it was time for her to try again and see what she does. Then next up here, we have Arnessa Thebe, who competed on Sims 4 Survivor Worldwide. She was like the 3rd or 4th boot there. I don't know. She didn't really do anything. But I just like love this sim. I think she's so fun. So I'm bringing her back. And another person who didn't do all that well on their season, we have Cannonball Coleman, who competed on Sims 4 Survivor Nordhaven. Cannonball, he actually was looking to be in for a deep run on Nordhaven. He kind of became the leader of his tribe, but then he ended up having a bit of a rivalry with Olive Spectre, and because Nordhaven was one world, even though she was on the other tribe, she was able to influence his tribe to betray him and blindside him in like the 3rd tribal of the season or whatever. Either way, Cannibal, he had a lot of promise, so we're bringing him back. And then finally, this has been a long time coming. We have George Cahill, coming here from Sims 4 Survivor Tartosa. George was one half of the underdog duo on that season. He allied himself with Marissa Tracy on his original tribe, and the two of them ended up being the final 2 members of their tribe. They survived a few votes until George unfortunately ended up getting eliminated. However, Marissa ended up going further, making it almost to the finale. And because of that, Marissa ended up being more of the star of that duo. And so that's why she has competed like 3 times now, whereas George hasn't gotten a second chance. But I think it's his time. Let's bring him on here. Let's see what he does on a return. All right, that's our cast. If you're wondering why all of the pictures are so washed out, it is because we are competing in the Sylvan Glade, where the lighting is a little bit like washed out. So yeah. Thought it would be kind of fun to do something a little bit different. And also it's much easier to access that place now. I things to Enchanted by Nature. So, yeah. New venue. We're gonna have fun here. The season we're following is Panama. Hence why we have 4 tribes and 4 members on each tribe. On this season, there is an Exile Island twist. There is also an idol, but it is the original idol, iteration of the idol, I believe. So it can be played after the votes are read. I'm pretty sure. Just so you're aware of that. And I'm not sure if the idol gets played, that there is going to be another idol. I don't know. When we did Guatemala, there was only 1 idol, but we'll see, I guess. I did not change any of the stats, so everybody is on even playing field, but I did give everybody who competed on the same season a slight like, just to keep things a little bit more consistent. So all of the Granite Falls people, they have a slight like. We got like Kenny and Cannibal, they have a slight like. Even though potentially some of these had like stronger alliances on the season or whatever, I don't know. I don't remember. And I figured let's not make things too complicated. Let's just give everybody a slight like and call it a day there. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the preamble. I think we can kind of just get into the season. I guess we can try to do a few winner predictions, maybe. I'm going to pick 1 person from each tribe who I think is going to do well. On the Teens tribe, I think Sydney. I mean, he has the most experience. I think he is primed for a good run here, but he also could have the largest target entering the season, so who knows. On the young adults tribe, I think Paka'a is probably the favorite to win, but honestly, I could see any one of them taking the crown. On the adults tribe, I think Kenny is probably a contender. I think Aziz Nadir could also take it, but I'm gonna put my money on Kenny. And on the elders tribe, I don't know. I don't think any of these is going to win. But if I'm going to put my money somewhere, I guess George. We'll give it to George. Anyway, let's just start the season with episode number 1, where we have a reward challenge. So this is where they all show up on Exile Island and they have to like do a little bit of a relay race or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, adults win, elders win, teens win. So the young adults, the mermaid tribe, they have to send somebody to exile to remain on exile. And they're gonna pick Nalani. Hang on, let me fix the size of the screen here a little bit. There we go. Sorry, my settings changed a little bit, so I'm having to make sure everything is good here. All right, on the Teens tribe, we've got nothing really. There's just the relationship tabs. Young adults tribe, we have just 1 relationship. Okay. Here we've got nothing, and here we've got nothing. Of course, it's the first episode. There's usually nothing going on. But on Exile, does Nalani find the idol? No. Unfortunate. But she is going to return for the immunity challenge. Let's see who wins. We have the young adults win, the adults win, and the elders win. So the teens, they are going to lose a member. They are going to lose the first member of the season. We will start on their beach. All right, right off the bat, we see Freya and Hugo bond slightly. Hugo and Sydney bond strongly. And then Baby Ariel and Sydney bond slightly as well. Okay, so everybody is bonding. That's not that great. I think Hugo and Sydney bonding strongly. This is the Granite Falls Alliance probably solidifying. And I bet they're going to run the vote here, but it is going to depend on who wins out, Hugo or Sydney. Because Hugo is going to want to keep Freya in the game. Sydney is going to want to keep Baby Ariel in the game. Sydney also gets injured, but he's fine. Now, will this affect his campaign? Is he gonna not be able to convince Hugo that Baby Ariel should stay over Freya because he's like dealing with his injury? I don't know. We'll see. On the young adult speech, we've got Paka'a impressing the rest of the team. Okay. On the adult speech, we've got Flora impressing the rest of the team. Okay. Newbie entering the camp. She is starting completely fresh. Nobody really knows anything about her, and they're liking what they're seeing. In fact, Alice really likes what she's seeing because her and Flora bond strongly. They are both mothers. I guess that's also something. That could be a bit of a connection there. On the elder speech, we've got Arnessa and Kitty with a minor disagreement, and Arnessa and Cannibal bonding slightly. Okay, so Arnessa and Cannibal, they might want to push Kitty out of the tribe. I don't know, although these tribes, they last like 1 episode, I'm pretty sure. Let's go to tribal. All right, here we are at the first tribal of the season. We've got the Teens tribe, Baby Ariel, Freya Loden, Hugo Villarreal, and Sydney Price. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Baby Ariel. 1 vote, Baby Ariel. Second vote goes to Baby Ariel. 2 votes, Baby Ariel. 2 votes left. Are we losing Baby Ariel? That's going to be so sad. Although, honestly, I don't want any of these to go. I'm kind of sad we are losing a teen, like, immediately. But, okay. The next vote goes to Sydney. 2 votes Baby Ariel, 1 vote Sydney, 1 vote left. Yeah, it's definitely Baby Ariel then. So Baby Ariel, she knew that she was going to be the one. She throws a vote on Sydney because she thought they were bonding and she feels betrayed, I guess. Let's just solidify this. The first person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2, it is Baby Ariel. Baby Ariel, the tribe has spoken. Hugo did win out. I guess Sydney's injuries did impact his campaign. He couldn't save Baby Ariel, and so she's gone. But I do think these 3 teens that are remaining are gonna be a pretty strong 3 if they can stick together. Freya, Hugo, Sydney, they vote for Baby Ariel. Baby Ariel votes for Sydney, and she's gone. I'm kind of sad. I kind of wanted her to do well, but it is what it is. All right, we're moving on to episode number 2, where we have a twist. It is a tribe swap. So generations immediately getting split up. We're abandoning the theme. Anyway, so how this works is there is going to be a random captain. Kitty and Freya are going to be the captains, so good for them. We have new young adults and new adults. So those are going to be the tribes we're going to work with, which is kind of annoying that they picked those ones by random, since those are too similar of a name. But Freya, she's going to pick Alice. Kitty is going to pick kalamainu'u. Alice picks Ukubanipo. Also, I believe they have to pick somebody from a tribe that was not on their tribe or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Kalamainu is going to pick Flora. Ukubanipo picks Arnessa. Flora picks Paka'a. Arnessa picks Nalani. Paka'a is going to pick Assis. Nalani picks George. Assis is going to pick Sydney. And then George picks Hugo. Sydney picks Kenny. And then Cannibal Coleman is not selected. He is going to go to exile, which means he is safe for this episode. Is not officially on any tribe, but also gets the chance to get the idol and, you know, has individual immunity pretty much. So here are the new tribes. On the new young adults tribe, we have Alice Spencer Kim, Arnessa Thebe, Freya Loden, George Cahill, Hugo Villarreal, Nalani Mahi'ai, and Ukpanipo Hakakia. Then on the new adults tribe, we have Assis Nadir, Flora Ladipo, Kalamainu Iona, Kenny, Kitty Lou, Paka'a Uha, and Sydney Price. So right off the bat, I'm seeing this adults contingents here. We got Assis, Flora, and Kenny sticking together. The young adults, they completely split up. So Nalani and Ukpanipo, they stick together. Kalamainu and Paka'a stick together. Sydney is getting isolated from his tribe. Kitty is also getting isolated from her tribe. And Hugo and Freya, I guess this could be the perfect time for them to evolve their relationship even further. On the young adults tribe, we've got Hugo and Freya with a small bond. Otherwise, not really anything going on here, which makes sense. We just swapped. On the adults tribe, we've got Flora and Assis with a medium bond. Okay. Paka'a and Kalamainu with a medium bond as well. That kind of makes sense because they were on back-to-back seasons. They are both mermaids. They both live in Sulani. I imagine they, like, kind of knew each other before entering this season. We also don't really have anything else going on, which is kind of weird because Kenny has no relationship with Assis or Flora. But, okay, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think we have immunity? No, reward. Okay. Reward is going to go to the adults. They win fishing gear and a raft with paddles. Good for them. On exile, Cannibal. He finds the idol. Wow, good for him. He honestly might need it because he is entering a tribe not having the opportunity to bond with anybody or like have any interactions with anybody. So very good for Cannibal. We'll see if he's going to need this idol, but let's go to immunity. And the young adults, they win immunity, meaning the adults are going to go to tribal and Cannibal is going to join their tribe. On the young adult speech, we've got Alice and Hugo bonding strongly, which has a lasting impact. Granite Falls Alliance, perhaps strengthening, I don't know. Alice and Nalani, however, have a small fight. Perhaps Nalani is like trash talking Eric Lewis, Alice's husband. Because Nalani was on a season with Eric. They were both on Battle of the Sexes, of course. Although I would imagine she never really met him because he was the first boot on that season. Freya, she's also chilling at camp to restore her energy, all right? Pretty solid. I mean, you just won the challenge. Now is the time to chill if you need to. On the adult speech, we have Assis impressing the rest of the team, and we have an alliance. The first alliance of the season. It is a 6-person alliance between Aziz, Flora, Kalamainu'u, Kenny, Kitty, and Paka'a. So it's everybody aside from Sydney. Oh no, well, rip Sydney, he's gone. Not gonna make 5th place now. And that's gonna be kind of interesting because if this alliance stick together, then Cannibal is gonna stay on the outs when he joins their tribe, and he's probably gonna have to play the idol if they lose. I don't know, let's go to tribal. All right, the new adults tribe is here. We got Aziz, Flora, Kalamainu'u, Kenny, Kitty, Paka'a, and Sydney. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Sydney. 1 vote Sydney. And the next one goes to Sydney. 2 votes Sydney. 5 votes left. And the next one goes to Flora. 2 votes Sydney. 1 vote Flora. 4 votes left. Next one goes to Sydney. 3 votes Sydney. 1 vote Flora. 3 votes left. And the second person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. It is Sydney Price. Sydney, the tribe has spoken. Honestly, very unlucky. He enters the tribe and they all immediately turn on him. I don't think he could have really done anything here other than be a part of the alliance, but if they wanted him gone, I guess it is what it is. Also, I mean, he was entering this season with probably one of the largest target on his back. Out of all of the returnees, I mean, he has a 5th place average of his 2 seasons. I think most of these other players are not even close to ever having made 5th. Aside from like Freya. I also think they probably were looking at all of these Granite Falls players and were like, okay, we gotta get rid of one of them at least. That's how the cookie crumbles, Sydney. It's a unanimous vote against Sydney. Sydney was for Flora, and that's that. All right, we're on episode number 3, and we have a new adults tribe, Cannibal. He's joining. There he is. Returns from exile. He's on the adults tribe now. All right, on the young adult speech, we now have Ukapanipo and Freya with a medium bond. Okay. Were they bonding in the last episode? I don't know. I don't think so. So that's kind of random, but okay. We got Hugo and Alice with a small bond. They were bonding in the last episode. We also have Hugo and Freya with a small bond. And then we got Nalani and Alice with a mild dislike. Freya and Ernesta with a small bond. And then not really anything. The teens on this tribe are doing pretty well. Both Freya and Hugo are kind of ingratiating themselves pretty well here. I think if they can solidify their final 2, I think they're going to be in a pretty good spot. But it does kind of seem like Freya is drifting away from Hugo a little bit and linking up with Ukapanipo instead. So we'll see. But of course, Ukapanipo is one of the Granite Falls people. So maybe Hugo and Alice pull him in and keep Freya. This could be like a final 4 forming here. We'll see. On the adult speech, we've got Cannibal with the Idol and this 6-person alliance. I imagine this is probably going to break up. This might have just been like a temporary thing to get rid of Sydney. But let's see if anything's going on here. We've got Flora and Aziz with their medium bond. Paka'a and Aziz with the medium bond now. And Kitty and Aziz with a medium bond. Wow. Also, kalamainu'u and Aziz with a medium bond. Wow. Look at Aziz. He's doing really well. I mean, his wife is a runner-up, I believe, or a 3rd placer. He might have picked up a tip or 2 from her. We also have Paka'a and kalamainu'u with their medium bond. That is still going strong. Kenny and Aziz with a small bond. Aziz completely destroying this season so far. Is he the one to beat? Maybe. I think he might be our winner. We'll see. He's definitely the front runner at the moment. Rest of this here is just slight bond, slight dislike, so we'll ignore that. Reward is going to go to the adults. Good for them. They win some shit. And more importantly, they're going to send Alice to exile, where she's going to chill there. There is nothing there. Unfortunate, Alice. You're an episode too late, but it is what it is. Immunity is going to go to the young adults again. So now the question remains, will the 6-person alliance stick together? And will they go for Cannibal, in which case, is the idol going to get played? We'll see. Young adults tribe, we have Alice and Ernesta finding something in common. We have Hugo and Ukapanipo bonding slightly. And then we got Ernesta and Hugo with a minor disagreement. And we have another big alliance. It is Alice, Ernesta, Freya, George, Hugo, and Ukapanipo. Why are they making these like big ass alliances? Who's not in this? I believe Nalani, right? Yes. So Nalani getting iced out of this. We have the foursome that I was talking about earlier. I think they are like a real foursome. And I think these elders are just kind of tagging along to it. But I think they should probably try to do something else because I'm pretty sure Ernesta and George are going to be at the bottom here. But more importantly, on the adults tribe, we have Cannibal with the idol. We have a seasoned kitty with a small fight. And we have a new alliance. It is Aziz, Flora, and Kenny, the original adults members, and they pull in Paka'a. So we're getting kind of a core of this onion alliance here. We also have Kitty doing something. She's chilling at camp to restore her energy. I don't think that's good for her. Honestly, I think her having this fight with Aziz could be the nail in her coffin. Like, this 4-person alliance might just take her out. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go to tribal. All right, we got the new adults tribe here. Cannibal, he's with them now. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Cannibal. 1 vote, Cannibal. Second vote goes to Cannibal. 2 votes, Cannibal. 5 votes left. And the third vote goes to Flora. 2 votes, Cannibal. 1 vote, Flora. 4 votes left. Next vote goes to Cannibal. 3 votes, Cannibal. 1 vote, Flora. 3 votes left. And the third person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor, Generations 2. It is Cannibal Coleman, except he places idol, in which case, Flora, the tribe has spoken. Wow. Idled out of the game, Flora. That is very unfortunate. That is going to be a big blow to Aziz. I think him and Flora were looking to be a pretty strong duo in the game. But he has plenty of allies. I think it's probably going to be fine. But Cannibal, not looking good for him. Even though he plays his idol and stays, he is now kind of a tribe pariah. But maybe he can turn things around. I mean, he just got here. I think they should have gone for Kitty, just gone for the safe vote. I mean, they at least knew that she was not going to have the idol. But, you know, they didn't do that, so it's fine. All right, it's a unanimous vote. Everybody votes for Cannibal. Flora goes out here, idled out, which is unfortunate. I was kind of hoping she would stick around and be that newbie that kind of does well, because whenever we've had newbies playing with veterans, they haven't really done all that well, and it was looking pretty good for Flora. Like, it was looking like she was in for a long run here, but her time here on Sims 4 Survivor is getting cut short here in episode 3. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Episode 4, adults, they have lost a member. They are now down to 6. Young adults, they still at 7. On their beach, we've got this new alliance. We've got Hugo and Alice with their medium bond, Ukapanipo and Freya. Hugo and Freya now also. Okay. So their bond is strengthening. That's good. Hugo is not losing Freya just yet to Ukapanipo. We have Arnessa and Alice with a small bond, Ukapanipo and Hugo with a small bond, Freya and Arnessa with a small bond. Then we got Nalani and Alice with a mild dislike, Ukapanipo and Nalani with a mild dislike as well. That is not good. People do not like Nalani. I think she is dead in the water unless she finds an idol. Pun intended. Adults tribe, we've got this alliance now down to 5. This alliance now down to 3. Flora, of course, no longer in either of these alliances. We've got Paka'a and Aziz with a strong bond now. Okay. Paka'a and kalamainu'u with a strong bond as well. Then kalamainu'u and Aziz with the medium bond. Kenny and Aziz with the small bond. Kitty and Cannibal with small bond. And then we got Kenny and kalamainu'u with a mild dislike. Not sure where that comes from. Kenny, honestly, kind of a flop on this season. I was expecting more from him, but he is, for the most part, just kind of keeping out of things. I mean, he is in both these alliances, so I guess that's good. But I'm going to need to see him do a little bit more and maybe work on his relationship with Paka'a, maybe work on his relationship with Kitty, because I think he could easily fall out of favor and be like at the bottom of this 3-person thing, because Paka'a and Aziz, they are getting very close. Reward is going to go to the adults, and they are going to send Nalani to exile. So maybe she can find an idol and save herself. I don't know if there's going to be another idol, but we'll see. Let's go to exile. There is an idol hidden. Nalani does not find it. That is too bad. She probably needed that. Oh well. Let's go to immunity. And the young adults, they win again. So Nalani, it's fine. She didn't need the idol. She's safe. But I guess rip Cannibal, unless he can pull something off here. All right, on the young adults tribe, Freya and Ukapanipo have a major fight. Oh no, that is not good. So their bond, it might be going away. Maybe Ukapanipo is seeing that Freya and Hugo are getting close and that they've been close, and he's like, I thought we had the thing going. And she's like, I can be with both of you. George, however, has a major meltdown, which causes him to leave the alliance. So perhaps Nalani is getting saved here. I mean, they're not going to tribal, but if she can ingratiate herself a little bit in the tribe, they might take out George instead. I don't know what's going on, but my internet is like losing it. So everything is slowing down like crazy. But anyway, on the adults tribe, the tribe that is going to tribal, we have Cannibal and Kitty with a major fight. Oh no. And for some reason, this alliance dissolves. It is done. I mean, this alliance, I didn't think it was all that real anyway. They lost Flora. I guess she was kind of the glue holding them together. We also have Kenny leaving this alliance for some reason. Kenny, I did tell you to do something, but this is not the something that I was talking about. But I guess he was seeing that Aziz and paka'a were a lot closer than Kenny was to either of them. So he was like, I'm clearly at the bottom here. I don't need them. Let's do something else. But now, nothing is really going on. Aside from Aziz and paka'a having a final 2, everybody else is kind of just scrambling. So Cannibal could be saved here. We'll see. Kitty could take the fall here. She is also resting in camp to restore her energy for some reason. I don't know why you're doing that. You're going to tribal. Kitty, this is not the time. But I don't know. Anybody could go out. I think Aziz is safe. I think paka'a is probably safe. I think Kenny, even though he's leaving this alliance, could be safe. I think kalamainu'u is also safe because she has that bond with paka'a. So I think it's going to be Cannibal or Kitty, like one of the elders, probably. But maybe not. We'll see. All right, here we are at Tribal. The adults, they're back. Here for the 3rd time in a row. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Cannibal. 1 vote, Cannibal. Second vote goes to Kitty. 1 vote, Cannibal. 1 vote, Kitty. 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Cannibal. 2 votes, Cannibal. 1 vote, Kitty. 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Kitty. Whoa, okay, we're tied. 2 votes, Cannibal. 2 votes, Kitty. 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Kitty. 3 votes, Kitty. 2 votes, Cannibal. 1 vote left. Is Cannibal just barely scraping by again? The final vote goes to the 4th person vote out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. It's Kitty Lou. Wow, Kitty, the tribe has spoken. Both former Generations players gone now, so that's unfortunate. Not going to be a Generations player winning Generations 2, but Cannibal, wow, just barely scraping by. I'm impressed. I thought he was done for, but he's surviving here. Kitty takes the hit here. Unfortunate for her. She probably should not have been fighting with Cannibal, but you know, she did that, so she's gone. Kitty votes are Aziz, Cannibal, kalamainu'u, and paka'a. Okay, I think this could be a 4-person thing forming here. Maybe they kick out Kenny, pull in kalamainu'u, pull in Cannibal. We'll see. But Cannibal votes Kenny and Kitty. The K names, they vote for Cannibal. And unfortunately, Kenny takes himself out of the alliance and now is on the wrong side of the vote. I don't think that's good. Kenny also was on the same season as Cannibal. So I don't know why he's doing that, but whatever. We're moving on to episode number 5. Adults, can they win one challenge? We'll see. On the Young Adults tribe, we have this alliance. It is now down to 5 members. Now that George is gone, we've got Hugo and Alice with a strong bond now. Okay. Hugo and George with a medium dislike. I don't think that's good because it kind of looks like Hugo is the person running this tribe. So I think George could be in trouble, which is a good thing for Nalani at least. Arnessa and Alice, they have a medium bond. Hugo and Freya have a medium bond. We got Ukubanibo and Hugo with a small bond. And then we got Freya and Arnessa with a small bond, George and Alice with a mild dislike, Nalani and Alice with a mild dislike, Ukubanibo and Nalani with a mild dislike, and George and Arnessa with a mild dislike. So it's not looking good for Nalani, it's not looking good for George. Ukubanibo and Freya, their relationship is completely gone off the board. That's not great. But Ukubanibo and Hugo do still like each other, so I think it's probably gonna be fine. On the Adults tribe, we now have just this final 2 between Aziz and paka'a, and they have an unbreakable relationship now. I feel like this is very Paka'a's MO. He picks just some guy, some middle-aged guy, and like links up with him. Last time it was Jeffrey Landgrab. This time it's Aziz Nadir. I really think they could be in for a deep run, but I'm not sure. I mean, they are entering a merge on the outs. Like their tribe is gonna be clearly in the minority, so we'll see. But paka'a and kalamainu'u still with a strong bond. Kalamainu'u and Aziz with a medium bond. I definitely think this is a trio forming. Kenny and Aziz, even though Kenny leaves the alliance, they still have their small bond. And then we got not really anything here at the end. Reward is going to go to the adults. And they're going to send Freya to Exile Island. Can't she find the idol? No. Unfortunate. Freya can't find it. That's too bad. But immunity goes to the young adults again. Wow, they are demolishing. I guess they do have the much more physically fit tribe, right? Like they have Ukapanipo, who was a massive comp beast on his season. They have Freya, who also did pretty well in the challenges. Nalani, she has a lot of experience, even though I don't think she has like that good of a track record. And I guess Alice also did pretty well in the challenges. On the young adults tribe, we have Arnessa and Nalani with a major fight. And that causes Arnessa to leave the Big Alliance. Wow. I don't know what Nalani is doing. She's like picking fights with these random people, and that is causing people to leave the alliance that she is not a part of. I don't know, but it's working, I guess. Now, this alliance is down to 4. This is the 4 that I thought was going to be locking in as an alliance earlier on in the post-swap tribe here, but they are now somehow found themselves as a 4. So it's Alice, Freya, Hugo, and Ukapanibo. I think this is going to be a pretty strong 4. I think they're going to stick together. I don't see them splitting up. However, we do see a duo from that alliance forming. It is Alice and Hugo. Granite Falls Alliance. Anybody? It's back. Hugo tried it with Sydney, but unfortunately lost Sydney pretty early on. So he's going to pick up Alice instead. Honestly, kind of surprised Hugo and Freya are not locking in their final 2, but I guess, I don't know. Hugo did kind of link up with Alice more. Maybe after Freya and Ukapanipo kind of bonded, Hugo was a little bit like, I don't know if I can commit to Freya. On the adults tribe, we have Cannibal impressing the rest of the team. Cannibal really turned things around for him. He had to play an idol, and now he's doing pretty good. Kenny has a major meltdown. Yeah, I think he knows what's up. He is gonna be the one to go here. He was on the wrong side of the boat last time. He's still not doing well. I think he's gone. But we do have a new alliance. It is Cannibal and kalamainu'u. So we have 2 duos. This one that just got formed, as well as Aziz and paka'a, which means Kenny is on the outs, sandwiched in between these 2 duos. I think he's just gone here. Unless, like, Aziz and paka'a decide to pick him up for a vote. All right, we're back at Tribal, the adults tribe here for the 4th time in a row. And it is time to vote. The first vote goes to Cannibal. 1 vote, Cannibal. Second vote goes to Kenny. 1 vote, Cannibal. 1 vote, Kenny. 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Kenny. 2 votes Kenny, 1 vote Cannibal, 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to the 5th person with our Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. It is Kenny. Yeah, Kenny, the tribe has spoken. I felt like that was kind of predictable. They were just cleaning up shop after last tribal. I think these 2 duos are probably gonna stick together. Hopefully they last this next episode and make it to the merge together. If this next episode is not the merge, I'm not sure. Could be. But anyway, Kenny, he just didn't have it this time. I'm not really sure when it started going downhill for him. Probably after he left that alliance. I think he should have just stuck around in that and he would have been fine. At least he would have survived this vote. But, you know, Kenny, you did what you did. It is a unanimous vote against Kenny. Kenny was for Cannibal. And Kenny's out. Simple as that. Episode number 6. It is not the merge. So I think 1 more person and then it's merge. Final 10 merge. That kind of makes sense, right? On the young adult speech, we've got these alliances now. We got this 4-person one. We got this new final 2. Hugo and Alice have a strong bond. Hugo and George with a medium dislike still. Arnessa and Alice with a medium bond. Hugo and Freya with a medium bond. Freya and Arnessa with a small bond. Ukapanipo and Hugo with a small bond. And then we got everybody hating Nalani. And George and Alice also with a mild dislike. Honestly, I think the young adults should throw this challenge. They should throw this challenge and take out George. Because I think George could be a problem for them if they enter the merge with him. Hugo and Alice both don't like him. And they have this final 2 and they still have the numbers at the moment. So I think they should just take 1 known enemy off the board. That's what I would do at least. On the adults tribe, we've got these 2 duos. It is paka'a and Aziz. We've got Cannibal and kalamainu'u. Paka'a and Aziz, they have an unbreakable relationship. Paka'a and kalamainu'u have a strong bond. Kalamainu'u and Cannibal have a medium bond, and then Kalamainu'u and Aziz have a medium bond. And then Paka'a and Aziz, they just have a slight bond with Cannibal. I'm kind of rooting for this quintet here. Is that what it's called? Quintet, right? No, that's 5. I guess I'll just say foursome. I'm rooting for this foursome. I kind of hope they come together and make it to the merge, but it hasn't been going well for them. But if they lose, we might be going into fire, so we'll see. Anyway, they win immunity, and they're gonna send Hugo to immunity. Or not immunity, to exile. Oh, wait, this player will be immune by skipping tribal council. Oh, okay. So Hugo, maybe now they should not throw the challenge, because if they go to tribal and Hugo's not there, that might be a number for them that is not going to be voting. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? This is not reward. It's immunity. So Hugo, he is going to be on exile. The young adults are going to go to tribal, and the adults finally win one. But that means the vote out of George might not be as stable as I thought, because they don't really have the numbers. Like, it was the 4 of them. Now it's going to be just the 3 of them, which is still help the tribe, but they're going to have to pull in one more person. We'll see. Let's see if Hugo finds the idol. He does. Wow, Hugo is really like coming into his own on this season. Good for him. He has the idol. He also is one of the strongest players on this season so far. I'm impressed by him. Like, he was like a 4th boot, and he's making it to the merge here, probably. I think the next episode is the merge. And he's gonna be in a very good spot. On the Young Adults tribe, what happens? We have Freya impressing the rest of the team. And then we got Arnessa and Ukapanipo bonding strongly. Okay. Ukapanipo doing some work here, pulling in Arnessa, maybe securing that 4th vote for George or Nalani, whichever one they want to go for. Either way, the Alliance, I shouldn't have doubted. They got it. They got this in the bag. It's fine. Adults tribe, we have Aziz and Paka'a. A small fight. Oh no, not the duo. We also have Paka'a with a major meltdown. I don't know what's going on with Paka'a, but he is spiraling a little bit. We also have Aziz and kalamainu'u with a major fight. That is also not great. So I think the adults tribe is gonna enter the merge a little bit fractured. That's not great. Cannibal, though, is working hard at camp and becomes tired. Okay, I guess. Whatever. Let's go to tribal. The young adults are here for the first time. Everybody aside from Hugo, we got Alice, Arnessa, Freya, George, Nalani, and Ukapanipo. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to George. 1 vote George. Second vote goes to Nalani. 1 vote George and 1 vote Nalani. Third vote goes to Nalani. 2 votes Nalani, 1 vote George, 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Nalani. That is 3 votes Nalani, 1 vote George, 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to George. Okay. 3 votes Nalani, 2 votes George, 1 vote left. We could be tied here. The final vote goes to the 6th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. It is Nalani. Nalani, the tribe has spoken. Honestly, I don't think she played this season all that well. She was kind of just getting into fights with people. Although, can you really blame her? She found herself at the bottom immediately and nobody wanted to play with her from the get-go. It's kind of unfortunate, but I don't think she did herself any favors here. I think she could have survived this vote if she had just been a little bit more likable. Because there was definitely movement against George. And I think if Hugo had been on the beach, maybe he would have swayed the vote a little bit more. But either way, Nalani, she's gone here. So Nalani votes are Alice, Freya, George, and Ukapanipo. And the George votes are Arnessa and Nalani. So even though Ukapanipo was working on Arnessa, she does not vote with the Alliance. Interesting. Maybe, actually, now that I think about it, Nalani did go to exile. So maybe they were thinking, Nalani, she might have an idol. Let's throw 1 vote on George. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So smart move by Ukapanipo. He pulls up a pretty impressive move here. But either way, Nalani, she goes out here. And we're here on episode number 7 where we have the merge. This is the all ages tribe. And the players who make the merge are Alice Spencer Kim, Arnessa Thebe, Aziz Nadir, Cannibal Coleman, Freya Loden, George Cahill, Hugo Villarreal, kalamainu'u Iona, Paka'a Uha, and Ukapanipo Hakakia. So if Nalani had survived, the entire young adults tribe would have made the merge. But they do not. We also have all of the elders except for Kitty Lou. And then Alice and Aziz make it here. Kenny and Flora got clipped along the way. And Freya and Hugo make it to the merge. Whereas Sydney and Baby Ariel got clipped along the way. So we got a pretty good spread here of players who make the merge. Pretty interesting. On the beach, what do we got going on? We got Hugo with the idol. We got this 4-person alliance, which I believe this is going to be the power core of this merge tribe. The adults, they're fighting this foursome. They are getting very tight here. Hugo's at a 7, Freya and Alice at a 6. Ukapanipo could be the person to break the bank here a little bit. He might jump ship, because he did have that fight with Freya. He's not that close to Hugo or Alice. But he also doesn't really have anything else going on. Except he was bonding with Arnessa. So maybe he tries to split off from them and do something else with Arnessa. I don't know. We have this bond between Aziz and Paka'a. And even though they were fighting in the last episode, they do still have an unbreakable relationship. So that's good. Alice and Hugo have their final 2. And then Cannibal and kalamainu'u have their final 2. Freya and Arnessa now have an unbreakable relationship. What? That is random, but okay. Hugo and George, they have an extreme hatred. Hugo is probably not happy with his alliance that they did not take him out for him. But, you know, it is what it is. Hugo and Alice, they have a strong bond. And Ukapanipo and Paka'a, they have a strong bond. I don't remember them having this bond, but I guess they had that when they were on their original tribe. But they are now back together. They haven't been together since episode 1. We've got kalamainu'u and Cannibal with a medium bond. This is their final 2. We got Arnessa and Alice with a medium bond. Arnessa's doing pretty well, even though it's kind of on the outs here. She still has like these relationships. It doesn't say how she feels about Ukapanipo, even though they were bonding, but I guess it's just not on the board here. Hugo and Freya have a medium bond. That's kind of surprising, considering they were kind of bonding day 1, and since then, they haven't really solidified anything, even though they're in this alliance. Ukapanipo and Hugo also have a medium bond. Okay, so Ukapanipo does have some connection to the 4-person alliance. He might not jump ship because he does like Hugo. And then kalamainu'u and Aziz have a medium dislike. Not sure why that is. Did they fight in the last episode? I think they did. Yeah, that might be it. Anyway, immunity is going to go to kalamainu'u. Wow. She was a comp beast on her original season, so she is going to resume that here. Potentially. She has her 3rd individual immunity win, I think. Maybe 4th. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But on the beach, we got Hugo with the idol. We've got Cannibal and kalamainu'u. They are bonding slightly. We have Cannibal and Hugo with a minor disagreement. And Ukapanipo is working hard at camp and he becomes tired. So this could be Cannonball's boot episode. This could also be George getting the boot here. And I believe the person who is booted here does not make the jury because we're at final 10 and this is a final 2 season. So yeah, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be George because I think even though Cannibal and Hugo are having this minor disagreement, I think he still wants George gone. And I think he probably controls the vote tonight. Let's go to tribal. All right, we got the all ages tribe here, the merge tribe. We got Alice, Arnessa, Aziz, Cannibal, Freya, George, Hugo, kalamainu'u, Paka'a, and Ukapanipo. Kalamainu'u, she has the necklace. She cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. The first vote goes to Cannibal. 1 vote Cannibal. Second vote goes to George. 1 vote Cannibal, 1 vote George. Third vote goes to Hugo. Okay. 1 vote Cannibal, 1 vote George, 1 vote Hugo. 7 votes left. And the next one goes to Hugo. What? 2 votes Hugo, 1 vote Cannibal, 1 vote George, and 6 votes left. I assume this is probably George and Cannibal voting for Hugo here because they both don't like him. And the next one goes to Cannibal. 2 votes Cannibal, 2 votes Hugo, 1 vote George, and 5 votes left. And the next one goes to George. That is 2 votes George, 2 votes Cannibal, 2 votes Hugo, and 4 votes left. Next one goes to Cannibal. 3 votes Cannibal, 2 votes George, 2 votes Hugo, 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Cannibal. 4 votes Cannibal, 2 votes George, 2 votes Hugo, 2 votes left. Cannibal, if he gets 1 more vote, he's out, but it could still tie. The next vote goes to the 7th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. It is Cannibal. Cannibal, the tribe has spoken. Very unfortunate. He was playing a very good game here. I think he just unfortunately was in the minority tribe entering the merge. Otherwise, I think it would have landed on George. But, you know, sometimes you just don't have the numbers. Sims 4 Survivor is a numbers game. And yeah, that's that. I don't think he should have been fighting with Hugo, though. Because I think if he had just, like, been friendly and not really said anything, I think George would have taken the heat here and gotten taken out. All right, the vote. It is Arnessa, Assis, Freya, George, Paka'a, and Ukpanipo voting for Cannibal. So even Assis and Paka'a vote for Cannibal here. That's interesting. Alice and Hugo, they vote for George. Okay, so this is a vote split for sure. And then Cannibal and kalamainu'u vote for Hugo. Yeah, Alice and Hugo, they vote for George just in case Cannibal has an idol. I mean, he hasn't been to exile since he played his idol, but maybe the adults players aren't really letting them know that Cannibal played an idol. I don't know. But we lose a Cannibal. We're here on episode number 8. We got the final 9, and officially jury has started, I'm pretty sure. All right, on the beach, we've got now this 4-person alliance, and now these final 2s here. Now that kalamainu'u and Cannibal don't have their final 2 anymore. Paka'a and Assis with an unbreakable relationship still. Freya and Arnessa still with theirs. Hugo and George still with an extreme hatred. And then we got Hugo and Alice with a strong bond. Ukpanipo and Hugo with a strong bond. Arnessa with a strong bond toward Alice. Alice only with a medium bond toward Arnessa. And then we got kalamainu'u with a medium dislike toward Assis. And then Hugo and Freya with a medium bond. Honestly, I think it's kind of a 2-horse race between Hugo and Assis at this point. I think Paka'a could sneak in there. I think Alice could sneak in there. And I think like a Freya could randomly sneak in here with her relationship with Arnessa. And honestly, Arnessa is kind of pulling through a little bit, right? Like she's starting to make some strong bonds here. She could be a bit of a dark horse in the competition. Reward is going to go to this group of people. It is Assis, kalamainu'u, and Paka'a. So that's the adults members. That is kind of funny. But they are going to send 1 player from each losing team to exile. Oh, okay, so they are going to send Alice and Ukpanipo to exile. Is there anything there? No. Okay, immunity though goes to Aziz. He gets his 2nd individual immunity here on Sims 4 Survivor, in his Sims 4 Survivor career, I should say. So good for him. Honestly, he might have needed it. I think he would have probably been fine. I think it's going to be George, but we'll see. On the beach, we got Hugo with the idol. We got Assis and George bonding slightly. Ooh. Assis may be making a move here. I don't know. But Alice and Ukpanipo also bond slightly. And then Alice and Arnessa have a small fight. That's not good. Arnessa was kind of bonding with Alice. But we did also see that Arnessa had a stronger bond with Alice than Alice did with Arnessa. So maybe Alice is like, you're being kind of clingy, Arnessa. I'm not like that close to you. And Arnessa was like, I thought we had like something going on here. That's not great. It's just a small fight though, so it could be salvaged. And we have a new alliance. It is a merged tribe alliance. It is Assis, Freya, George, and Paka'a. Okay. This is definitely Assis and Paka'a trying to pull off a move here. They are trying to fix their standing in the game here. They pull in George, which is interesting. And they also pull in Freya, which is more interesting. So will Freya go against her original alliance and vote with this foursome here? Maybe. This could be a little bit of an uprising here. I don't know. But Alice is completely worn out. Is not giving up, though. She's doing fine. You got this, Alice. It's okay. Let's go to tribal. All right, we got the final 9 here. Assis, he has the necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Paka'a. 1 vote, Paka'a. Second vote goes to kalamainu'u. 1 vote kalamainu'u and 1 vote Paka'a. Next vote goes to Paka'a. 2 votes Paka'a, 1 vote kalamainu'u. And the next vote goes to kalamainu'u. That's 2 votes kalamainu'u, 2 votes Paka'a. We're tied. 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to kalamainu'u. That's 3 votes kalamainu'u, 2 votes Paka'a. 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to kalamainu'u. 4 votes kalamainu'u, 2 votes Paka'a. And the next one goes to Paka'a. So that's 4 votes kalamainu'u, 3 votes Paka'a, 2 votes left. And the next one goes to The 8th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2, first member of the jury. It is Kalamainu'u. Kalamainu'u, the tribe has spoken. She won a single immunity challenge and they were like, she's gotta go. But also she was on the outs here. She loses her final 2 and then she follows right behind him. That's kind of predictable. I imagine paka'a and Assis were like, we don't have to rock the boat right now. We can just take out kalamainu'u for them. We don't really need her. She's not really a number for us. Also, she is kind of trying to get rid of paka'a here for some reason. So yeah, I think that's kind of smart. All right, who was who? It is Arnessa, Assis, Freya, George, paka'a, and Ukpanipo who vote for kalamainu'u. Alice, Hugo, and kalamainu'u vote for paka'a. I imagine Alice and Hugo are also still like voting this way in case of an idol. I mean, Hugo has the idol, right? So he should know that he has the idol, but maybe he doesn't know that there's only one idol in play this season. Who knows? Anyway, kalamainu'u, she's gone here. Unfortunate for her, but, you know, I don't think there was really much upside to her game anyway, so I don't think it's a huge loss. At least she made the jury. All right, episode 9, we got the final 8 here. We got Alice, Arnessa, Assis, Freya, George, Hugo, paka'a, and Ukpanipo. I still think it's a 2-horse race between Hugo and Assis, and I think we're starting to enter a war here, and Freya is going to be a very important piece. What is she going to do? Can she play the middle? We'll see. On the beach, we've got this 4-person alliance, we got these 2 final 2s, and then we got this 4-person alliance. It's going to be interesting to look at the relationship highlights here, because that is going to matter. I also forgot that Freya has this unbreakable relationship with Arnessa. So Freya actually, she's like aligned with literally everybody on this tribe, right? Yeah, because this is a foursome. This is a different foursome. And then she also has Arnessa on the side. Wow. Is Freya winning? She could be. Anyway, Hugo and George, they have their extreme hatred still. Ukpanipo and Hugo have a strong bond. Hugo and Alice with a strong bond. Freya and Alice with a strong bond. Hugo and Freya with a strong bond. She doesn't like Ukpanipo though. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. Ukpanipo and Freya, they had like a pretty strong bond in the pre-merge, and then they had that fight, and now they have a medium dislike. That's not great. George and Arnessa also have a medium dislike. So I think if Freya controls this vote in the next tribal, I think she sends out Ukpanipo. After which she can send out George. I think she can like flip between alliances if she's smart about this and just run the game. I take back everything I said. Maybe it's not a 2-horse race. It might be Freya's game to lose at this point. Wow. Reward is going to go to this group of people. It is Arnessa, Freya, Hugo, and paka'a. And they're going to send George to exile. I would not have done that. But okay. There's nothing there, though, so it doesn't really matter. But immunity is going to go to Arnessa. That is random, but good for her. Honestly, she might have needed it because she's the only one who's not in an alliance. But also, she has this relationship with Freya, so I think she would have been fine. On the beach, what do we got going on? We got Assis and Ukpanipo bonding slightly. And then we got Alice, completely worn out again. Is not giving up again. Alice, what's going on with you? I don't know. Maybe she's not like eating that well or something. Alice, pull your shit together. You're in the final 8 of Sims 4 Survivor. You're gonna start making shit happen here. All right, we got the final 8 here, where our tribal, once again, Arnessa has the immunity necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Ukpanipo. 1 vote, Ukpanipo. Second vote goes to George. 1 vote, George. 1 vote, Ukpanipo. And 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to George. That is 2 votes, George. 1 vote, Ukpanipo. 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to George. That is 3 votes, George. 1 vote, Ukpanipo. 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Ukpanipo. 3 votes, George. 2 votes, Ukpanipo. And 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Ukpanipo. We're tied. 3 votes, George. 3 votes, Ukpanipo. 2 votes left. I think it's all going to depend on where Freya goes. And I think Arnessa goes with her. That would be my guess. Where did she vote? Let's find out. The next vote goes to George. Oh, 4 votes, George. 3 votes, Ukpanipo. 1 vote left. And the 9th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. And second member of the jury, it is George. George, the tribe has spoken. Aziz loses out here. I think Freya might have been doing this for Arnessa because Arnessa did not like George. So maybe she was like, okay, Arnessa, you got this one and we can take out Ukapanipo next. I don't know. I honestly think this might have been a mistake from Freya because I think keeping George in the game would have kept in that animosity between George and Hugo, but also she would have been betraying Hugo there, so maybe it would not have worked out for her. But still, I think I don't love this move, but it's fine. George is gone here. We got Alice, Arnessa, Freya, Hugo, and Ukapanipo voting for George. So yeah, that makes sense. That's the foursome plus Arnessa, the original young adults tribe, or I guess post-swap young adult tribe. We got Aziz, George, and Paka'a voting for Ukapanipo. In which case, I think Aziz and Paka'a are in danger, but I do also think they're not out for the count. I think Freya can still swap back over to them because she has Arnessa in her pocket. All right, here we are at episode 10. We got the final 7 here. What's going on the beach? We still got the same shit going on aside from this one because George is gone. Unbreakable relationships are Arnessa and Freya still. We got Aziz and Paka'a and Freya and Alice now. Okay. And also Hugo and Freya, right? Yeah, okay. So Freya, I guess they convinced her that she should link up with them. This might be a losing move from Freya if she does not take out Ukapanipo here. I think she might be playing into the duo of Alice and Hugo. I think she has to pave her way and link up with Aziz and Paka'a for the next vote, or I think she's done. I think she's just handing the game to Hugo. Otherwise, we've got Ukapanipo and Hugo with a strong bond, Hugo and Alice with a strong bond, and then Ukapanipo and Freya with a strong dislike now. Yeah, that's not great. Ukapanipo and Aziz with a medium bond, though. That's random, but okay. Reward goes to Arnessa. Look at Arnessa suddenly being a comp beast here. Older woman, she's kicking ass. She's gonna bring Freya and Paka'a on reward, and she's gonna send Aziz to exile. What does he do there? Nothing. There's no advantage. But immunity, who's gonna take it? It is gonna be Aziz. Second win for Aziz. Honestly, he might need it. I'm nervous for Paka'a. I think he could be the one to go here. But we'll see. Freya still has the chance to flip. On the beach, what's going on? We got Arnessa and Hugo bond slightly. We also have Arnessa and Freya bonding strongly. And Alice and Ukapanipo bond strongly. And then Ukapanipo resting at camp to restore his energy. Okay. He is getting himself ready for these individual immunities because he hasn't won one yet, but he might have to soon if he doesn't get eliminated here. All right, let's go to tribal. Will Freya flip? I doubt it, but it could happen. All right, we're at tribal. We got the final 7. Aziz, he has the immunity necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Arnessa. 1 vote, Arnessa. Second vote goes to Ukapanipo. 1 vote, Arnessa. 1 vote, Ukapanipo. 5 votes left. Next vote goes to Arnessa. 2 votes, Arnessa. 1 vote, Ukapanipo. 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Arnessa. That's 3 votes Arnessa, 1 vote Ukapanipo, 3 votes left. And the 10th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2 and third member of the jury is Arnessa. What? Arnessa, the tribe has spoken. Unanimous vote. Okay, Freya lost the game, I think. What the hell? Why would she let go of such a strong piece for her? I don't know, but this is a bad move. This is not a good move. I guess Arnessa, she was winning those comps, so maybe they were starting to get a little bit afraid of her. She got an immunity win. She got a reward win. So I guess it could be worse. They could have made a worse decision. I don't know, but I do think Freya is shooting herself in the foot here. But I guess also Aziz liked Ukapanipo, so maybe it didn't matter. Maybe Arnessa was going to go out no matter what. So Freya just decided to not be on the wrong side of the boat. That could be it. Either way, it's a unanimous vote, and Arnessa votes for Ukapanipo. Tough luck for her. She did pretty good, though. I mean, she was like 3rd out or whatever on her original run, and now she's here in 7th place. Pretty good. Nice job, Arnessa. All right, episode 11. We got the final 6 here. What do we got going on the beach? We got Hugo with the idol. We got this final 4. We got these 2 final 2s. We got this final 3 here, which I guess now that we're at a final 6, Freya still can tie things up, but I don't think it's like gonna work out for her. Because she's also at a loyalty of 5 to them and a loyalty of 6 here. Yeah, I don't know. But Freya and Alice now have an unbreakable relationship. That's random. I guess if Freya and Alice are that close, and Hugo and Alice are actually not that close. Like, they have a strong bond, but they both have an unbreakable relationship with Freya. So perhaps both of them would pull Freya into the final 2. So maybe it could be a winning scenario for her still. Aziz and Paka'a, they have their unbreakable relationship. Ukapanipo and Hugo now with an unbreakable relationship. Okay. So are Hugo and Freya, and Ukapanipo and Aziz now with an unbreakable relationship. What? That is random. Could Aziz pull Ukapanipo in for a vote? Perhaps. We got Hugo and Alice with a strong bond, Ukapanipo and Alice with a strong bond, Ukapanipo and Freya with a strong dislike still, and then Aziz and Alice with a small bond. Honestly, this strong dislike is not great. I think Freya should be doing something about it, but I think it's too late for her now. Reward is gonna go to this group of people here. It is Freya, Hugo, and Paka'a. And Hugo is gonna win the car. Good for him. I mean, he's a teenager, so that's a pretty good reward, to be honest. Aziz is gonna go to exile, where he does nothing, because there's nothing there. But can Aziz pull off a 3rd immunity win? He honestly might need it. Aziz, your 9 lives are running up, but can you do it? Can you do it? No, but Paka'a does it. So definitely Aziz needed that immunity, because now I think he's pretty much done. Perhaps he can pull something off. Let's go to the beach. Let's see what he does. He has a major meltdown. Yeah, he knows. He knows it's gonna be him. That's unfortunate. We'll go to tribal. All right, we got the final 6 here. Paka'a has the immunity necklace. Cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It's time to vote. And the first vote goes to Aziz. 1 vote Aziz. Next vote goes to Aziz. 2 votes Aziz. 4 votes left. Next vote goes to Hugo. 2 votes Aziz. 1 vote Hugo. 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Hugo. 2 votes Aziz. 2 votes Hugo. We're tied. We have 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Aziz. That is 3 votes Aziz and 2 votes Hugo. 1 vote left. And the 11th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2, 4th member of the jury, it is Aziz Nadir. Aziz, the tribe has spoken. He had a very strong run, got 2 immunities, was a very powerful player on the season, but unfortunately, he got bested by Hugo. Freya also got too complacent, and I think, unfortunately, that was his downfall. But he played a very strong game. He tried to make things work. It just wasn't in the cards for him this time around. All right, it is Alice, Freya, Hugo, Ukapanipo voting for Aziz. Aziz and Paka'a vote for Hugo. Paka'a, I think his game is also done here. Unless he goes on an immunity run, which could happen. But either way, Aziz is gone here, and we're gonna head into episode number 12. Now I definitely think it's Hugo's game to lose. I think all of them pull him into the final 2. Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't have that strong of a bond with Alice, but he does have a locked-in alliance with Alice. So I think they are like locked together going into the final 2. I think Alice could also win. I think Freya could win. I don't think Paka'a or Ukapanipo could win unless Paka'a goes on a run, in which case I think he could win just based on that, like the underdog storyline. But Ukapanipo, I'm not really seeing it for him. I think he's been too much of a follower of this like 4-person thing. So yeah, I don't think the jury's gonna really respect his game. But he does have that bond with Aziz. So perhaps there's still a winning scenario for him. All right, what's going on now? Not really anything. Freya and Paka'a are in the final 2 now, which is not real. There's no way. Unbreakable relationships. Freya and Alice, Ukapanipo and Alice, Ukapanipo and Hugo and Freya. Hugo and Alice still only with a strong bond. That is so random. Ukapanipo and Freya with a strong dislike. And then Ukapanipo and Paka'a with a medium bond. And then we got Paka'a and Alice with a slight bond. Paka'a and Freya with a slight dislike. Wow, they don't even like each other. They're in this alliance. You know what? Maybe Freya did choose right. Maybe it did make sense for her to go with this alliance because, you know, Paka'a and Aziz were always going to choose each other over her. Whereas Alice and Hugo could choose Freya over each other. But I think Freya should have used one of these votes to take out Ukapanipo because he's not a number for her. Either way, reward is going to go to Paka'a. And Paka'a is going to take Freya with him. It is the loved ones visit. Wow, okay. Who do they bring to the islands? Like, who's the loved ones? I guess Freya is probably one of her moms. So it could be Dahlia or Nora. I don't know. For Paka'a, he's in a single sim household. So let's just say he brings Jeffrey. Jeffrey shows up. All right, Hugo is going to get sent to exile where he does nothing because he already has the idol. But immunity is going to go to Freya. All right. Paka'a, I'm sorry. His game is done. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Ukapanipo, he has a major meltdown. And Freya and Paka'a, they officially split up. Freya is like, sorry, buddy, but it's over. You're going to go home. We are at Tribal Council. We got the final 5 here. Freya has the immunity necklace. She cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Paka'a. 1 vote, Paka'a. Second vote goes to Paka'a. That's 2 votes, Paka'a. 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Ukapanipo. 2 votes, Paka'a. 1 vote, Ukapanipo. 2 votes left. And the 12th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2. 5th member of the jury. It is Paka'a. Paka'a, the tribe has spoken. Predictable outcome. He was just not in that 4-person alliance. And now he's gone. So, yeah, not surprised that he goes out here, but it is what it is. Unanimous vote. Paka'a votes for Ukapanipo on his way out. I don't think he disliked Ukapanipo or wanted him to go, but I think he was like, this is my best shot if I vote for Ukapanipo because Freya doesn't like him. Maybe somebody throws a vote there, but it didn't work out. So we're heading into episode number 13, where we have the final 4 alliance. They made it to the final 4. We have Alice, Freya, Hugo, and Ukapanipo. One of them is going to go out before the finale. I think it's going to be Ukapanipo, unless he wins immunity, in which case I think it could be Alice. I'm not sure. Either way, it's not going to be Hugo, because he still has this idol. And I think this might be the last time he can use it. Yes. So Hugo is going to be safe this tribal for sure. Now we got this final 4. We got this final 2. Ukapanipo and Freya now hate each other. Everybody else has an unbreakable relationship, except Ukapanipo and Hugo have a medium bond, and Ukapanipo and Alice have a medium bond. What happened there? Oh, right. Ukapanipo had that major meltdown. So everybody hates Ukapanipo now, and he's definitely gone. Unless he wins immunity, which he can. He has won immunities before. He could win this one. Reward is going to go to Hugo. Hugo is going to take Freya with him on reward. The 2 teens, and because they go on reward, the other 2 are going to go to exile. So Alice and Ukapanipo. Can Ukapanipo, make a deal here with Alice? Maybe. They go to exile. Obviously, nothing's going on here, but whatever. Immunity is going to go to Alice. First win for Alice. So that's Ukapanipo's game done. Which is unfortunate, but that's okay. What's going on the beach? Let's see. Hugo has an idol. He is going to play that for sure. Alice and Freya bond strongly, and Alice and Freya find something in common. Okay. Are they gonna betray Hugo here? Maybe. But Ukapanipo is going to leave the alliance. That is not surprising. Nobody really liked him anymore. They were just pulling him along for a vote, and now they're like, okay, we're ready to get rid of you. Sorry. Hugo working hard at camp, though, and becomes tired. That's okay. But here we are at Tribal. We got the final 4. Alice, Freya, Hugo, Ukapanipo, and Alice has the immunity necklace. Cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. First vote goes to Freya. 1 vote Freya. Second vote goes to Ukapanipo. 1 vote Freya, 1 vote Ukapanipo. Next vote goes to Ukapanipo. 2 votes Ukapanipo, 1 vote Freya, 1 vote left. And the 13th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2, 6th member of the jury. It is Ukapanipo. Unsurprisingly, Hugo does not play the idol, so Ukapanipo, the tribe has spoken. He did better than he did last time, so he can hang his hat up on that. But otherwise, I think he was kind of entering a losing scenario here, heading into the final 4 with this group. I think he probably should have tried to form something with Paka'a earlier on, because they had their unbreakable relationship for a very long time, but oh well, they didn't do that. It's fine. Unanimous vote. Everybody was for Ukapanipo, aside from Ukapanipo, who was for Freya. And we're entering the finale. All of which I think could be a winner. I think all of them have played a pretty strong game. And I think all of them have also played a pretty similar game because they've all been like linked together for the entire game. But we've got Alice Spencer Kim. She's been very consistent this season. She has been in the Power Alliance, linked up with Hugo pretty early on, has this very good bond with Freya. So I think she's gonna be in the final two. I don't know who's gonna get cut here because they all like really like each other. I'm not sure. This is going to be a wild final three tribal council here, but we got Freya Loden, who has been playing the middle, but also didn't really play the middle at all, but she had the chance to. I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity for her, but also, I guess it didn't really matter because she is making it to the finale here. She is probably going to make it to the final two. Although, again, I don't know. I don't know who's going to get cut. She is entering the final three with a final two alliance, so this could be bad for her. But she also has better relationships with both of them than they do with each other. So, I don't know. Then we have Hugo Villarreal, who I, for the longest time, thought was the one to beat. And I still think he is the most likely winner here. He just has to make it to the final two chairs. He has been one of the strongest power players on this season, which is very surprising. But yeah, he kind of did the damn thing. He kind of shat on this season. So I would love to see him win, but honestly, any single one of these could be a good winner. It's just going to depend on who wins the immunity, who's going to take who to the end. And yeah, it'll be something. What's going on the beach? We've got actually Hugo and Alice with an unbreakable relationship, Freya and Alice with an unbreakable relationship, and Hugo and Freya with a strong bond. So Alice is looking to be the one to pencil into the final two here. I don't know. Hugo and Alice, they just had a strong bond for a really long time, but now they are at an unbreakable relationship. We'll see. It can always change when we go back to the beach. Freya, she wins reward, and she is gonna get a meal, which is gonna help her in the final immunity challenge. Can she pull off the immunity win? I think she honestly might need it. She does. Wow. Okay, congrats to Freya. I shouldn't have doubted her at any point. She is... she killed it this season, I guess. I think this could be a winning move. She's probably going to take out Hugo, which is going to look pretty good to the jury, but maybe not. Let's go to the beach. Freya and Hugo bond slightly, and Alice and Freya have a major fight. Oh no. Is she going to cut Alice? I think she might. Maybe she's like, teen strong. We played this season together the entire time. I'm going to have to take Hugo with me to the end. I don't know. I think this could be a mistake, but maybe not. Honestly, like, it's kind of hard to judge. They're all such like... they're all says like even playing field. Let's just go to tribal. All right, we've got the final three here. Alice, Freya, Hugo, and Freya has the immunity necklace and the power to eliminate the final person and send them to the jury. What is she gonna do? Freya casts her vote, and the 14th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2, 7th member of the jury is Alice. Alice, the tribe has spoken, gets cut right before the final two. Very upsetting. Unfortunate for Alice, she becomes a third placer, same as her husband did on early outs. But I guess it kind of was to be expected based on that beach segment there we just went through. Freya votes for Alice, eliminates her, fallen angel of the season. But either way, we're heading into the final tribal council. We're here at Final Tribal Council. We got the final two, Freya Loden and Hugo Villarreal. We're kind of bookending this season. We started off day one. They formed a strong relationship, and they're making it here all the way to the end together. The final two teams who made it to the merge. They plead their case for why they should win. The 7-person jury, they ask their questions, and then they cast their vote for who they think should win. And it is time to crown another Sims 4 Survivor winner. The first vote goes to Hugo. 1 vote, Hugo. Second vote goes to Freya. 1 vote, Hugo. 1 vote, Freya. 5 votes left. And the third vote goes to Hugo. 2 votes, Hugo. 1 vote, Freya. And the fourth vote goes to Freya. We got 2 votes, Hugo. 2 votes, Freya. 3 votes left. And the fifth vote goes to Hugo. That's 3 votes, Hugo. 2 votes, Freya. 2 votes left. And the 6th vote goes to Freya. We are tied. It is 3 Hugo, 3 Freya, 1 vote left. And the winner of Sims 4 Survivor Generations 2 is Freya. Congratulations, Freya. She somehow did it. I guess I should never have doubted. She kind of pulled off a bit of a Kim Spradlin here. She had so many options and just went with the one that worked the best for her. And she pulled off the win. So congratulations, Freya. Well-deserved win. Who voted who? It is Arnessa, Aziz, George, and kalamainu'u who vote for Freya, and Alice, Paka'a, and Ugapanipo vote for Hugo. Alice and Hugo, they of course had a final 2, and also Alice got eliminated by Freya. Ugapanipo hated Freya, and Paka'a and Freya, they were in an alliance, but they didn't really like each other. So I guess those votes all make sense. Aziz and Freya had a relationship. Arnessa, of course, had a very strong relationship with Freya. George and Freya, they were in an alliance together. No, wait. George and Hugo hated each other. That's why he's voting for Freya. And I guess kalamainu'u, I don't know why she's voting for Freya, but, you know, whatever. Either way, Freya pulls out the win here. Pretty close vote, though. And the fan favorite of the season is going to be Nalani. Okay. I guess. I mean, she was kind of a fun character in the pre-merge. Everybody hated her, but she tried to make something happen. She was a bit of an underdog. So, sure. We've had some worse fan favorites. But anyway, here is the final result of the season. We've got in 16th place, Baby Ariel. In 15th place, Sydney Price. In 14th place, Flora Ladipo, which is unfortunate. I really was hoping she would do better, but whatever. In 13th place, Kitty Lou. In 12th place, Kenny. In 11th place, Nalani Mahi'ai, our fan favorite. In 10th place, Cannibal Coleman. In 9th place, kalamainu'u Iona. In 8th place, George Cahill. In 7th place, Arnessa Thebe. In 6th place, Aziz Nadir. In 5th place, Paka'a Uha. In 4th place, Ukapanipo Hakakia. In 3rd place, Alice Spencer Kim. Our runner-up, Hugo Villarreal. And our winner, Freya Loden. What stats do we have? Most challenge wins are actually Freya and also Paka'a. But Aziz and Freya have the most immunity wins with 2 each. Alice, Arnessa, kalamainu'u, and Paka'a all had 1. Most votes received was a Cannibal with 15. Of course, he negated like 7 votes with an idol. George had 9. Ukapanipo had 8. Paka'a and Sydney had 7. Arnessa and kalamainu'u had 6. Aziz and Hugo and Kenny and Kitty had 4. Oh, and Nalani also. Okay. Baby Ariel had 3. Flora had 2. And Alice and Freya both had 1. Most strategic is Paka'a Uha. I don't think that's correct. I would say, actually, let's go through the rest of them. Freya is number 2 and Alice is number 3. I think Hugo should be up there. I think Aziz should probably be in the place of Paka'a. So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say Freya number 1. She did have the most options. So I think she had the most strategic capabilities to like most chance to maneuver strategically. Then I would say Hugo and then Aziz. That's going to be my list. But anyway, there you have it. The first season of the new era. I don't think this new era is going to be all that frequent, I guess. Like, I'm going to still keep the series a little bit slower going. I just think we need more Sims. But I might try to do something. I don't know. We could do some like spin-off things, maybe. That could be fun. Like maybe I could do more stuff like the 1-800 Pink Bitch video, which that one was just a joke. It won't be like that, but it could be like not canonical to this, what this is, right? So we could do some one-off stuff. But either way, let me know what you guys want me to do. Do you want me to use maybe gallery Sims? Do you want me to use my own Sims? Because I could totally do that. Anyway, all hail our current reigning Freya Loden. And I will see you in the next one whenever we get to that one. Bye.